Hello, guys and gals, and welcome. Welcome. So the public test realm is coming to an end, and I did a lot of testing. We did a little bit of farming. In fact, I think between me and Leon, we might have done a solid day of farming. I believe he did probably around like 6 or 7 hours, and I probably did around like 6 or 7 hours. That's why I'd say that's at least one solid day of farming for loot with the new ridiculously broken Herald tier 2s. Now, I've been seeing a lot of really weird comments like, wow, this is nice. I love the fact that the Heralds drop lots of loot. The Heralds are dropping really cool loot. That's great. Like, it's better than them dropping nothing. What I plan to show you today is that it's not better than them dropping nothing. With relatively minimal farming and in inefficient builds and in inefficient ways, we didn't use any find item, no large amount of magic find. In fact, I don't think any character that we farmed on had anything more than like maybe 80% magic find at best, or 85. In players 1, not players 8, not players 5, not players 2, players 1. All of the farming was done in players 1. We did very little of it, and I want to show you the results of that farming. So we've collected all the items that me and Leon have farmed in the public test realm over the one day basically that we spent farming. And if you want to watch us drop these items, you're more than welcome to go check that out. Let's start out with the blockbuster. I'm just going to start dropping these items on the ground, and I have a lot to go through, so get some popcorn. We've got Fire Facet, Lightning Facet 5/5, Lightning Facet, Fire Facet 5/5, Poison Facet, Fire Facet, Cold Facet, Cold Facet, Fire Facet, Fire Facet, Fire Facet, Fire Facet, Cold Facet, Cold Facet, Lightning Facet, Lightning Facet, Fire Facet, Lightning Facet, Cold Facet, Poison Facet, Poison Facet, Fire Facet, Cold Facet, Poison Facet, Lightning Facet, Fire Facet, Lightning Facet, Lightning Facet, Fire Facet, Rare Jewel, Rare Jewel. We had so many Rare Jewels drop, it's not even funny. I didn't even keep most of them. I also accidentally socketed one of the facets into a weapon, which I did keep because I wanted to show off how many facets we found, which was kind of insane. This is my gemmed longsword with a poison facet in it. I also used one of the facets to craft a blood pair of gloves because I had so many facets and I didn't have any freaking, actual jewels at the moment. Like, I wasn't picking them up and keeping them for crafting, and I was like, you know what? I've got so many facets. Why don't I just craft with one of those? If you're wondering how many facets we found over basically what is effectively one day of inefficient farming, we found 32 facets in one day of inefficient farming, many of them 5/5s. And this isn't all. So not one, not two, but 3 Oculuses, several Windhammer Ogre Mauls, and I will preface this by saying that there were many items that we just didn't pick up. Good items that you would totally keep, but that we'd find 4 or 5 of them, and at some point we just realized, why am I picking these up? Like the Thunderstrokes, we literally found 4 or 5 Thunderstrokes. We found 4 or 5 Windhammer Ogre Mauls. Ethereal Shaft Stop. Also, speaking of ethereal items, Ethereal Reaper's Toll and a non-ethereal Reaper's Toll. Both. So an Eth Reaper's Toll and a non-Eth Reaper's Toll. Nightwing's Veil, Leviathan, some actually halfway decent rare items as well, like some kind of crazy rare items, and I'll show you those as we go. But this was a 20% run walk boots with magic find and lightning res. Silk Weaves, Black Hades, Gold Strike Arch, Lightsaber, Spirit Shroud, pretty much all the books. Measured Wrath, and so forth and so on. Geed's Wager, T-God's Vigor, Razor Tail, Nosferatu's Coil, Dracul's Grasp. We actually found a couple pairs of those. I should have another pair of Dracul's Grasp sitting around here. 2 Verdungo's Hardy Coils, Toothrow, Storm Shield, Griswold's Honor, Talrasha's Dark Sight, Vampire Gaze Non-Ethereal, and Vampire Gaze Ethereal. Schaefer's Hammer, and I also found a Stone Crusher, which I didn't keep. Stormlash, and also Horizon's Tornado. Griswold, Corpseworn, definitely found a Griswold's as well. Gavel of Pain, Hellslayer Decapitator, Sorcerer Frost, Nord's Tenderizer, Spectral Shard, Lava Gout, Bloodpoint Pact Mithril Shard, War Shrikes, a pretty decent little Eth weapon that was actually kind of interesting that I kept. We're not done. Tabok's Glory, Razor's Edge, Tomahawk, Crane Vomir, Witch Wild String, Ghost Wraith, Buriza do Canyon, I found a couple of those. Horizon's Gloves again, Horizon's Book, Wizard Spike, Ethereal. Actually, no, this one's not Ethereal. It's indestructible. But Wizard Spike, there's another Spine Ripper. We got Bone Hew. We got Earthshaker, Battlehammer, Flame Bellow, Laying of Hands, Azurewrath, which is also exceedingly rare. A 6% Magic Find, 15 Poison, Small Charm. We got 4-socket Greater Hallberg, Demon Machine, Mage Fist, Shako. Actually, this one, yeah, this is the Shako that we found, and then we threw the Magic Jewel in there. Immortal King's Forge, War Gauntlets, Immortal King's Boots, Frostburns, Kira's, Tear Haunch. I'm not even close to done. Tomb Reaver. Another Laying of Hands, Nat's Boots, 4-socket Monarch, Geeds, another Geeds. There should be 2 Geeds in here somewhere. There's multiple Geeds. We also have Sazways, and the Horizon's Armor, Horizon's Boots. We've got a very interesting rare item. One of the things I noticed when I was actually picking up the rare items is that there were so many good rare items dropping. Not just like rare items that are normally crap, but no, I was picking them up and identifying them, and it was just like absolute insanity. They were really, really good. Like, I had a book that dropped, for instance, that was one of the best books I've ever freaking seen. And yeah, it's not like the craziest book in terms of everything, but it's a +2 Chaos, all resistance is 15, 2 to Enhanced Entropy, 1 to an Eldritch Blast with 2 sockets. When have you ever seen a +2 tab with all res and +2 skills? It's super rare, right? Not in freaking PTR. In PTR, these rare items were dropping like all the time, and all you had to do was pick them up and identify them, and half the time they were turning out to be really dang good. There's the other Geeds right there. Zakaroom's Hand, an actually pretty decent Hurlbat, another one of the rare items that dropped, which was kind of amazing. This could be upgraded into the Winged Axe, of course, but it's a 40% increased attack speed, 226, which is kind of nutty. We also got Trangul's Scales, an Ethereal Guardian Naga, and Ormus Robes, another Horizon's Armor. Trangul's, I think these might, I'm not going to add these in because these might have been the ones that were given to me from the thing. These are the blood gloves that I crafted with the jewel, the rainbow facet that turned out awful. Ethereal Archon Plate, Lightsaber, another Lightsaber. There's the Stones Crusher. I thought I got rid of it. Another Horizon Secrets. And Ars Tors Balos, which is not the one that was provided, because the one that was provided had a socket in it, I'm pretty sure. But you know what? Let's pretend that didn't come from the drops. Whatever. Soul Drainers, a Lightning Skiller with 12% faster hit recovery. Bane's Oathmaker. This actual all-res life charm did actually come as a drop from one of the Heralds. Sunder Charms. Oh boy. We've got so many Sunder Charms. We've got a Fire 78, a Fire 84, a Cold 86, a Cold 71, a Cold 78, a Fire 83, a Cold 74. This was a Lightning Grand Charm that dropped with 725%. 82 Cold, a Bone Break 20, a Lightning 89, and a Lightning 88. And I'm not done. We haven't even gone through the rings and the amulets yet. But before we do that, we've got Guardian Angel Templar Coat, which also dropped, Credendum, and we also have these kind of crazy 20% faster run walk 2 res boots. The Mangsongs, we did not find one of those, but we did find a Skull Collector, which is very pretty. Now let's go through the amulets, shall we? Look at this giant pile of ridiculousness. More items than you've ever seen drop in one day. All of them crazy. Some of them literally godlike items. But anyway, let's go through the amulets. So we've got a Rising Sun. We've got a Seraph's Hymn. An Aratha's Collar. A +2 Lightning Skills with 2 resistances Life Leech Amulet. a +2 War Cries, all res 14 with 30 lightning. We've got a Mantled Heal. Actually, let's just do the amulets first. We got 25 Maras that dropped. We got a Saracen's Chance that dropped. Another Saracen's Chance that dropped. A Cat's Eye. A Telling of Beads, which is actually kind of rare. Angelic is not rare, but it kind of tells the narrative here that we're getting lots and lots of amulets. Crescent Moon, Cat's Eye, Angelic Wings, a +2 Fire Skills with 2 resistances, a +2 Demon Skills with all resistances, another Arathas, a +2 Chaos Skills with all resistances, Angelic Wings, +2 Chaos Skills with life and a resistance. And that's just the amulets. Now let's go from the rings. The rings are really going to blow you away. You know why? Because we didn't find just one. We found 2 of the rarest rings in the game. We got Dwarf Star, Nagel, Mantled, Raven, Mantled, Corruption Master ring that was just Life Leech, AR, and Replenish. We got a Dwarf Star, another like halfway decent rare ring. Soge, that's right, we found a Soge. Leon found one, and I found one also. We both found a Stone Ring of Jordan from the Heralds in one day. We also got Angelic Halo, Dwarf Star, Carrion Wind, another Ravenfrost, another Ravenfrost, another Ravenfrost, a Mantled Heal, an Opal Vein. That was actually me. I found that one. Another Angelic Halo, another Angelic Halo, another Nagel Ring, another Nagel Ring, another Nagel Ring, another Dwarf Star, and a halfway decent rare ring. What am I trying to show you here? I'm trying to show you, and I'm trying to stress the point as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to stress that this is broken. It is broken beyond a shadow of a doubt. It is broken to a degree that should worry you. If this patch goes live, I can almost guarantee you, not only will it break the economy in every way, shape, or form, by basically taking every single rare item in the game and making it into the most common trash that you've ever seen, but it will also take away any joy you have left in playing the game. There is nothing fun about getting everything that you want as a character within like one day and then being bored because there's nothing left for you to do. Because that's basically what this is. The current meta that's on the PTR, unless they change it, if it goes live, is going to just completely bork the entire game. Number one, it makes it so that you don't have to do anything else but farm the Heralds. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just farm the Heralds. Why do anything else? Because farming the Heralds is objectively the best, bar none, with no exception. When I say the best, bar none, with no exception, take it to heart. Nothing else that you do in the game will be worth any time whatsoever, with the exception of maybe keys for torches and statues for the Guardian Jewels. And that's about it. Everything else is literally just going to be you farming the Tier 2 Herald over and over and over and over and over again. And the reason why is because they have the best drops in the game. And to really, really put it into perspective, understand that we didn't actually go out of our way to exploit this at the maximum amount that we could have. We could have made a Barbarian. We could have run Find Item. We could have went through the process of doubling every single drop that we got from the Tier 2 Heralds. We could have went with a more efficient build that was specifically designed for killing Heralds. There was a lot of various things that we could have done to make this even more ridiculous, but we didn't. There was no reason to. You don't have to be super efficient with these Heralds because the Heralds are programmed to drop the most crazy loot in the game, and they do so at a rate that is absolutely freaking insane. And not only that, but because of how easy they are to get to, in other words, all you have to do, it literally is just like log into a game and walk into a zone, kill a couple monsters, and bam, there's a Herald in your lap. It's almost just as easy as Pindleskin in a way. And Pindleskin, if you guys remember Pindleskin, was actually one of the first things that got nerfed in the game because Pindleskin was too good. which is kind of crazy to me, because from a certain perspective, if you really think about it, what just happened recently? Andariel, terrorized Andariel, got nerfed. Her drop table was nerfed. Why was it nerfed? Her drop table was nerfed because, well, you know, she was just too strong. You could get too many items from her. Like, it was just too easy to do everything with Andariel, right? TZ Andariel. TZ Andariel is crap compared to these drops. The Tier 2 Herald is so easy to get to, so easy to force to spawn, and so good for his drops that he is 100, maybe even 1,000 times better than TZ Andy ever was. Why even nerf TZ Andy if you're just going to put this crap in the game? Where literally you can just farm one monster forever, ignore the entire game, and just get everything and anything you ever wanted. And I can almost guarantee you that you can, because we didn't even put any effort into it. No magic find, no high players count. Can you imagine what this would be like if you ran a P8 group? If you actually did have magic find? If you actually did have a barbarian horking and doubling the drops that you were getting from these monsters? Can you imagine looking at what I've currently showed you? Can you imagine how freaking ridiculous it would be if you had a barbarian there, if you were running magic find, if you were doing Inefficient run? There would be no limit to what you could find. I freaking found pretty much every item that has an extreme rarity in the game, with the exception of maybe Ethereals. I found a freaking Stone Crushers, a Schaefer's, a Stormlash, the freaking the knockoff Stormlash, multiple Verdungos, Ethereal Shaft Stops, Ethereal Reaper's Toll. Freaking, like, what else do you need? In like basically 1 day of farming the Heralds, I've got enough gear to deck out multiple characters and multiple mercenaries. There's no fun here left anymore. All they've done is they've taken the entire game and they've boiled it down to join game, kill 2 Heralds, collect your loot piñata, and leave. Now, the reason why I made this video was because somewhere along the line it's got lost in translation just how ridiculously broken these Herald drops are, and just how ridiculously stupid the meta is going to end up being if they manage to make it into the game. So I want to highlight with absolute efficiency by showing off just the meager drops that we've gotten without even really trying, so that you guys can see just how broken it really is. So that you guys know that if this makes it into the game's done. Like, it's cooked. The economy is completely borked. Everybody's going to have everything they ever wanted. Nothing's going to be rare with the exception of maybe runes. Like, that's about it. That's the only thing that I can think of that might actually be rare at this point is runes. Because those Heralds literally drop you everything that you've ever wanted in life. They're probably going to drop you a girlfriend too, because their drop table's that ridiculous. Now, why is the drop table broken like this? It's because they decided to artificially inject the bases into the drop table. So what does this mean? This means that when you literally take a monster and inject an item, right? You're basically saying, I want you to drop this base. And to put this into even more perspective is that things like the Legendary Mallet, do you know how many blue Legendary Mallets I saw? Do you know how many rare Legendary Mallets I saw? Right? The sheer number of blue and rare Legendary Mallets I saw before I got Stone Crusher, before Leon got his Schaefers, before I got, you know, like the Reaper's Toll, I saw like probably over like 50 or 60 just white Threshers, blue Threshers, rare Threshers. Anything that is a base type that would be something that you would be interested in, like rings or amulets, you just see thousands of blue amulets, thousands of rare amulets. And then till finally you start seeing rainbow facets, because rainbow facets are the obvious direction that goes to, right? So if you force the jewel to keep going into the Herald's inventory, eventually it's going to roll as a unique. That's how it works. Well, they're basically injecting these bases of items that are actually really good, like the Blasphemous Compendium, for instance, which was a rare that I got, What do you think they were trying to give me with the Blasphemous Compendium? One of the books, right? This was the Balos book, isn't it? So the Balos book is the Blasphemous Compendium, and I believe one of the other books, which is the what is it? This one is the Occult Codex. The Blasphemous Compendium is the Balos. So when they drop this book in my lap because they were trying to give me the Balos book, that base was being artificially injected into the pool. And then, of course, because they're artificially injecting the bases in the pool, which what seems to be like a really high magic find, because they want those unique items to fall, they're basically creating a situation where you can just join the game, kill 2 monsters, basically, or like maybe 10 monsters total. You literally walk into a waypoint, kill a couple monsters. The first Herald immediately spawns as soon as you kill the first couple monsters. You kill that Herald, get whatever loot he gives you, which is crazy. And then the second Herald has the bonus drops, so you kill a couple more monsters, the second Herald spawns, you collect your piñata loot, and then you leave and you come back and you just repeat this over and over and over again. And with an optimal setup, it would be so much more efficient than what we're currently looking at. What I'm asking you guys to do is complain. Like, this is literally going to break your game. If you love Diablo 2, this is going to break Diablo 2. Maybe you were upset that the Heralds didn't give you a large amount of loot. Maybe you were upset that you couldn't get a Sunder Charm. But if this goes through, Sunder Charms are now worthless. Amulets are now worthless. Rings are now worthless. Find a Stormlash, it's worthless. Nothing in the game is literally going to have any value anymore, with the exception of maybe runes, because that's the only thing in the game that the Heralds don't seem to drop in excessive quantity because they didn't program runes into their drop table. The entire patch for like the meta and how it's changing the game with the PTR is absolutely stupid. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I've showed you the evidence. I've showed you tons and tons of items that these Heralds have dropped. I've shown you the Sojas. I've shown you the freaking Schaefer's hammers and the Stone Crushers and the Ethereal Threshers, Reaper's Tolls, and like the 17,000 Horizon pieces that they drop, and all the rainbow facets, the freaking like 32 rainbow facets. What do you think about this? Like, are you okay with this? Like, is there literally a subset of the community that's okay with them just completely breaking the entire economy of Diablo 2 and making it so that nothing is worth anything? Because I have to know. I need to know whether that the community thinks that this is okay or not. And I feel like the reason why I really kind of showed this video in the first place is just because for some reason there are people out there who are like, this is all right. This is fine. It's not fine. It's obviously not fine. Anyway, I'm done ranting. It's already been like 23 minutes. As always, keep watching.